Hi, I am Aruni. I am a tarot reader. I'm here to teach you how to do tarot readings in a simple and straightforward manner. We're using the Morgan Greer Tarot Pack. Some people say that is the one that has the images that are the closest to the original tarot. And we were saying that it is important to develop a relationship with your cards, because when you do that, you can ask them whatever it is that the client requires to know, wants to know. We were presenting the concept that once you can talk to your cards, you do not need to be bound by a structure as a spread. But the spread, what the spread provides is a structure. But it is a good tool. For instance, we were dealing with the pyramid. So we can see as past, present, future. So where the client comes from, what the client is going through, and where the client is going, which is the most important, because the client comes to you to find out, okay, now what do I do? I'm in this particular situation, I'm in this position. But it is important to see the past, to see where the client comes from. What is the situation, the conditions that have brought this client to you? What are the conditions that have brought the client to question what is about to do or decide, or the choice is about to make? So for you to have an idea, but also to show the client that you know your science. No? Because if you can tell the client something that only he could know, then that's going to give him confidence in your reading. And when the client trusts you, then you can have a nice exchange. As I was saying, the cards give you symbols, they communicate through symbols, but the content of what those symbols means has to be provided by the client. So no need to guess, you just read the card and clear your mind so you can receive the channeling that comes from upstairs. So we were doing the pyramid, and we have seen the foundation of the reading. This reading started with the sun, which means a very good message. It's a card of success. So the life of this person seemed to be going in a really nice direction. Then we moved on to the middle section of the pyramid, and we have seen in the house of the self, we saw the world. The world represents the fulfillment of the ambitions, of the desires of the desires of the client. So everything is going to be, the client is going to achieve the things the client wants. And we are now moving on to, okay, let's look at the future. Let's have a little look into the future. What is coming next? So we have here the opportunities that will arise on our left side. On the right hand side, we have the obstacles that may arise while the client is trying to accomplish his goals. And the final position represents the outcome of the reading. At this point, you have done a full reading, and all is left is to ask your client, are you satisfied? Can you see sense in everything that we look at? Or do you have any questions? If the client say, oh yeah, let's deal with this or that, then it's the moment for questions. We probably do that in the next video. So now, we back here. We have seen moving house. The client may be moving house. The relationship is moving onto a higher level, so he's looking good. So now let's see what opportunities may arise. So we look at our house of opportunities to come, and as usual, the major arcana gives us the essence. So what is the major arcana? The Fool. Now the Fool is actually a warning card. You have to be gentle, because sometimes people say, oh, I'm a fool. No, this card doesn't represent that you're a fool. What the Fool card represents, if you notice, is that this person may take action, an unexpected action, which could actually end up in something detrimental to the client. So the word or the message of this card is unexpected. Why is that? If you look at a person, let me show you. If you look at the Fool is looking straight ahead. He's going into whatever it is, in which direction he's going. But if you actually look at where the feet of the fool are, it's the end of a cliff. So this is a warning card. This card saying, oh, wait. Don't just do things for doing them. Educate yourself in what you're about to do. Look at the choices. Get some advice from professionals. He said, you see, this person has a dog that is barking next to him. Now, dog barking, but he's keep on going, means he's not listening. He hasn't looked where his feet are going, means he's not looking. So this card is a card that says, no, you have to look more, you have to listen, you have to prepare yourself. How? Well, you see, the cards have numbers, and this is number 0. Means this is the beginning of a journey. And look at what the fool is taking for an entire journey. He's taking a tiny little bag. So this person is not prepared for that journey. So again, this is a warning card. So this card is saying, wait. Before you take an action, fill your life with information about it, get advice, get counsel, and then once you are sure that what you're doing is profitable, is successful, has a possibility for success, then you can do. What's the other card? What's the other card saying? The minor arcana. The minor arcana is the 5 of rods. What is the 5 of rods? Argument. Okay, so argument could get you into trouble. Let's say you don't want to hear, because you argue with the people that want to give you advice or counsel, and because you don't want to hear, you want to do what you want to do because you want to do it. Well, you're going to fall. So it's not good. Better calm down, listen to what people have to say, and if it's good, you check it out, and then you go ahead. So this is possibilities that can appear in the life of the client. It's always something positive. You notice in the corner of the card there is a sun. And remember that this reading began with the sun. So the sun is shining. So there is a light, is enlightenment there. So it is a possibility. It's always possibility for all this to fructify. So don't scare the client either. Let's look at the obstacles, more important. The house of the obstacles. Let's see what the major arcana says. Strength. The major arcana is the card strength. This card represents precisely that. Your client has the strength to do whatever it is that they want to do. Okay? So that doesn't tell me what obstacle has appeared or may appear in the life of the client. So let's look at the minor arcana. And the minor arcana is the 6 of Swords. What is the 6 of Swords? The 6 of Swords, you look, is a lady that has covered her face with a veil. Although there is a lot of swords stuck in the boat, the message here is many little problems. That's the message of this card. Because if you think there is a lot of holes in that boat, so if the client does not take the water out or covers those holes, it's not gonna make it to land. It's gonna drown. So it is important to understand that this client could encounter lots of little problems in the process of achieving what they want, but they have the strength required to defeat those problems. We already saw that in this card, but this was the partner. So her partner has the ability to overcome all the obstacles. So more reason for them to actually live what we saw here, to work together. And so it looks okay. Let's look at the outcome. This is the end of our reading. So the client has to not just jump into action, but rather take advice, take counsel, consult with the partner, and then things will work out. Let's have a look at the outcome. It began with the sun, and it ends with the tower. Now, what is the tower? The tower represents a chaos. That's what the tower represents. Now, it is difficult to imagine that a reading that began with the most powerful card success is telling us about a person that's going into chaos and everything is going to fail. It's difficult to imagine that. So there has to be some other explanations. So we look at the minor arcana. What is the minor arcana saying? The minor arcana is the Seven of Swords. What is the Seven of Swords? The message is thief. Okay. So remember when we started, it seemed like it was about buying property. So if it's about buying property, you have to beware of people that shows you good intention, but is trying to sell you something very, very bad. And remember that you have the card the Fool, which means you should not take action without consulting, without advice. So you do that, you bypass this, then you won't end up in chaos, because this chaos means everything is lost. No, the building is in flames, the water will attack the building, so things will not work. I doubt seriously that this reading ending with the card chaos mean that the life of the client is going into chaos, because when we started with the card the Sun, and we were saying that when the Sun appeared, that means everything is going to work well. Not only that, but then we got the World, which represents the achievements of all your goals. And the second card, meaning the projects that the person wants to do, was the Empress, which represents progress. So you have progress, you have success, and you have the achievement of all your goals. So it is difficult to think, oh, and then you're going to lose everything. I don't think so. It's not very much like that. It's more likely that, oh, beware, because he's a thief, and because you have the card Fool. Beware of arguments, beware of thieves, beware of bad advice, take advice, and then you won't have to live what the theft will bring into your life. And that was our reading for today. This is Tarot by Aruni. If you like what you're looking at, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with friends, and if you have questions, you can write them on our Facebook page, Tarot by Aruni. Thank you.